Hello, today's story is called The Louisiana Purchase. Today we are going to review the importance of the Mississippi River to the United States, explain the significance of the Louisiana Territory and the Louisiana Purchase, demonstrate an understanding of the word purchase, write sentences about the Louisiana Purchase, and then put together pieces of the Louisiana Purchase and write sentences about it. Our key vocabulary today, we have purchase and territory. Purchase. Purchase is to buy. She was able to purchase the books she wanted with her weekly allowance. Territory. Territory is an area of land controlled by a specific country or government. The Louisiana Territory was controlled by France and then by the United States. Let's do a little bit of review. What do the four letters on the compass stand for? Let's look at this one. North. What about this one? East. This one. South. This one. West. Where's the Mississippi River? Wait, look. Where's the Mississippi River? Oopsie. Where's the Mississippi River? It's right in here. Okay. Right. What about the Rocky Mountains? They're right over here. What about the Appalachian Mountains? Over here. Okay. During the time when Thomas Jefferson was president, the United States was the land east of the Mississippi River. So all of the land from here over. So like here, this way. Okay. Where is the mouth of the Mississippi River? Yeah, it's near New Orleans. And what about the city of New Orleans? Where is the city of New Orleans? Right here. Okay. Daniel Boone's Wilderness Road allowed people to expand farther west past the Appalachians. This continued to displace many Native Americans already living in the area and forced them to leave their homes once again and move even farther west. New Orleans and the area west of the Mississippi were not part of the United States at the time of the previous read aloud. So the area from here to about here, that was not part of the United States back then, okay? Why did President Jefferson want to buy New Orleans from Napoleon and France? So that people could have access to the Mississippi River and they wouldn't have to worry about not being able to trade with the people who lived on the west side of the Appalachian Mountains. Why is the Mississippi River so important? Because it is how boats would transport or bring goods to farmers or to other people that lived west of the Appalachian Mountains. Okay. Who did Thomas Jefferson decide to send to France to talk with Napoleon about buying New Orleans? James Monroe. Okay, so this is Europe, and in Europe is England, okay? Do you remember how the Pilgrims first went to North America? How did they travel there? By boat. The journey of the Mayflower took a long time, and the Pilgrims were very happy when they finally reached land. Okay, France is also in Europe, and France is where our story takes place for today. This is where James Monroe had to travel in order to talk to Napoleon. In order for James Monroe to travel from the United States to France, he had to travel by boat, which could take a few weeks or even a month. This is the path that the ship would have taken from the United States to France. Okay, across the ocean. Remember our vocabulary? We have purchase and territory. I want you to listen carefully to find out if James Monroe was able to buy the city of New Orleans from Napoleon for the United States. James Monroe sat at a desk in his hotel room in France. Monroe had been sent to France by the President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson. Remember, France owned the city of New Orleans, which was near the place where the mighty Mississippi River flowed into the sea. Do you remember what the area of a river is called where it empties out into the ocean or a sea? What is that opening of the river called? The mouth. Okay, so Mississippi River, and then there's the mouth. Whoever controlled New Orleans decided which ships passed up and down the river. The land on the east side of the river was owned by the United States. So, this is the east side of the Mississippi River, and it was owned by the United States. The land west of the Mississippi River was owned by France. So, France owned the land that was to the west of the Mississippi River. President Jefferson had told James Monroe, "I want you to go to France and offer to purchase the city of New Orleans from Napoleon. Napoleon needs money to buy supplies for his soldiers and sailors who are fighting in a series of wars. If he will sell New Orleans to us, he will receive the money he needs, and we will gain control of the Mississippi River." James Monroe met with Napoleon in the French Emperor's palace in Paris, France. This palace was very different from the house in which President Thomas Jefferson lived in Washington, D.C. Now, as James Monroe looked back on his meetings with both President Jefferson and the French Emperor Napoleon, Monroe thought, "President Jefferson's home certainly is different from Napoleon's home. Napoleon lives in a grand palace with fine wooden floors half covered in thick carpets. The walls are bright with expensive wallpapers, and the furniture probably cost a lot of money. When Napoleon is dressed in the fanciest clothes and sits on a throne, he talks and everyone else listens because they are afraid of his power and because they hope he will do things as favors for him." But there's no thrones for Thomas Jefferson and no royal uniforms to make him look special. Sometimes visitors to the presidential mansion don't even recognize President Jefferson. They think he's one of the servants until they are introduced to him. When he starts to speak, however, everyone listens, but not because they are afraid of him. They listen because he is a brilliant man with wonderful ideas. He doesn't need thrones or royal robes in order for people to realize that he is a great man. Well, James Monroe thought, I suppose I should be fair. Napoleon may not be my sort of person, but he is very clever once you are talking seriously with him, and he is about to do a great favor for the United States. Okay, do you see Napoleon? Yeah. Monroe remembered his last meeting with Napoleon, during which Napoleon had told Monroe, I have thought over your president's offer to buy the city of New Orleans. I have decided that selling New Orleans to the United States of America will not bring me as much money as I need. Instead, I will sell you New Orleans and all the lands owned by France between the Mississippi River and the Rocky Mountains, which is called the Louisiana Territory. So Napoleon said that he's not just going to sell New Orleans. If the United States wants to buy something from Napoleon, he can buy New Orleans and all of the land that the French own. So all of this green stuff between Mississippi River and the Rocky Mountains. Okay? We will sell this land to you at a fair price. Hearing this, Monroe realized with a shock, that is as much land as there already is in the entire United States of America. Overnight, we could have a nation twice as big as it is now. So, do you think that Monroe was excited or disappointed by Napoleon's suggestion? Why do you think that? I think he's excited because Monroe realized that Napoleon's suggestion would make the United States twice as big, so 2 times as big as it is now, which would be great for the United States. Somehow, Monroe had kept himself calm enough to answer Napoleon. Your Majesty, this is indeed a marvelous opportunity. I cannot accept your offer, however, until I present it to President Jefferson and receive his answer. I will write to him at once. In Monroe's time, there were no cell phones or emails, so Monroe had to write a letter to Thomas Jefferson. The letter would have to travel over the ocean in the same kind of ship that Monroe had traveled on when he first came to France. It would take a few weeks for Jefferson to get Monroe's letter, and even longer for Monroe to get Jefferson's letter. Now, sitting in his hotel room, remembering all this, James Monroe picked up his pen. I need to finish my letter to President Jefferson, he thought, and then I can send it to him by the first ship sailing across the ocean to the United States. When he reads it, the president is going to be very surprised. Why do you think that he said that President Jefferson is going to be surprised? Why would President Jefferson be surprised? Because he just offered to buy New Orleans. He was not expecting to be offered to buy the entire Louisiana territory. Just as Monroe expected, Thomas Jefferson was amazed when he read the letter. Jefferson thought, this is even better than I could have imagined. Not only will we be buying the city of New Orleans, but also the entire Louisiana territory. The United States will double in size. I will write back to James Monroe at once, telling him to purchase the Louisiana territory for the United States. He smiled. The timing could not be better. Then the president picked up his pen and began the letter instructing Monroe to seal the bargain with France, a bargain that would double the size of the United States of America. Alrighty, so who did James Monroe meet in France in order to discuss the purchase of the city of New Orleans? So who did he meet with to talk to about buying the city of New Orleans? Napoleon. Was James Monroe able to buy the city of New Orleans from Napoleon? He was. What else did he buy from New Orleans? From Napoleon? The Louisiana Territory, which doubled the size of the United States. Okay, I want you to point to the area of land called the Louisiana Territory, which the United States bought from France. So look at that map, and I want you to point to the area that is the Louisiana Territory. The Louisiana Territory is all of this green land east of the Mississippi River and west of the Rocky Mountains. Okay. Was the Louisiana Territory a lot of land or a little? It's a lot of land. Okay. How do we know? Because it's the same size as the amount of land that was already in the United States. So if we bought it, it made our country twice as big as it previously was. Okay. In the read aloud, you heard Thomas Jefferson say, I want you to go to France and offer to purchase the city of New Orleans from Napoleon. I want you to say the word purchase with me. Purchase. Can you clap it out? Purchase. Okay. How many syllables did that word have? 2. Okay. Can you say it in a mouse voice? Purchase. When you purchase something, you buy it. Jeremy went to the grocery store to purchase milk for his cereal. What kinds of things do you purchase? Wow. Okay, let's make sure that we have hit all of our learning objectives for today. Did we review the importance of the Mississippi River to the United States? Did we explain the significance of the Louisiana Territory and the Louisiana Purchase? We did. Did we demonstrate an understanding of the word purchase? Yes, we did. And then as your assignment, you are going to write some sentences about the Louisiana Purchase, and you're going to put some put together pieces of the Louisiana Purchase. All right, guys, see you next time.